Let me light an incense.
All is one, everyone. All is one, all is one. We are setting up in the background, so ignore the fact that we are not on camera right now.
Right.
Usually we're on camera, but we fixing some stuff. We fixing
Get
it for
ready.
you or whatever. So as you join, say hey, so we know you're here. Tell us where you watching from, cause this ain't you can't see who the viewers are. You gotta tell us who you are, or else we won't know you here. But say hey. I know it's about 15 seconds behind on comments, so we're gonna try to prevent dead air and just keep on talking. Just gonna keep talking. Let us know that you're here. Say hey so we can say hey back. If you are watching from the Facebook group, make sure you allow StreamYard to view your name. That way we can address you properly and not address you as Facebook user.
Same. And if you are viewing from any of my Facebook pages, Yumiya's Inclinations or Priestess Olaia's page, please give StreamYard permission to see your name.
Hey, Cherry Bomb. That's my baby, y'all. That is my baby. Who else we got? We got a few other people on here. Who else we got? Who else we got? Y'all, it's hot. I'm about to go turn my air on. Yes, I'm about to go turn my air on in the dead of September because it's very bright in my kitchen, and I wanna be able to breathe. Who else we got in here today? There's somebody else in here watching. Who we got? Hey, Elshunka, maybe tag your sister in so they can get their lives together. And if you are doing this with us, go ahead and get your stuff together, your cigar and um, your cool water. We're not gonna say the ritual protocol out loud, but we are gonna do it. Um, those of you who know how to do it, go ahead and do it with us. Hey, Destiny, baby. Yeah, Priestess Ola E is doing some stuff. She got her camera off for a second. So, yeah, get your whole life together real quick. We're gonna do ritual protocol to ourselves. We're not gonna do it out loud. As a matter of fact, go ahead and do that now. If you're doing it with us, with your cool water, and go ahead and do that now. While we wait for people to join, if you are here in the coven, please tag your sister and let them know that we are here. And post it in the Discord too for me. If somebody can add everyone in the Discord, let them know that we are here. I got a big old bag of oranges, y'all. Big old bag. And for those of y'all who don't know, we got a class tonight. So that's part of the reason why we are doing this Elderberry Syrup class, because we have a class tonight, a ritual for the Fall Equinox. And we need elderberry syrup. So, no better elderberry syrup than the kind that you make yourself. If you have never made elderberry syrup, there is a class. If you go to the link in the description, go to my classes. There is a class that I taught with Priestess Ifaponmilé on how to actually make elderberry syrup. Because we're not going to be going in too much detail because this is actually a paid class. So you're getting the behind the scenes for free. So you get to see all the things that go into the making of it from the back end. But I'm not going over measurements. I'm not going over exactly what we're putting in it and why. But I will tell y'all some notes and things like that. So that you get an understanding of what it is we're doing. And then my elderberry syrup will be available for purchase. If you live locally, it's better if I don't have to ship it. So if you live in Columbus, Ohio, that's great, because then you can avoid shipping. But yeah, if you don't, we'll add a little shipping costs to that, depending upon where you live. It's based on where you live. It's usually about $5. Just depends on how far it's gotta go. But it's expensive to make, but it's not, just because of some of the ingredients. They're not things that you could just walk into Kroger or Walmart or whatever and buy. Some of the stuff has to be ordered online, and as you can see, I make a lot because I got big old packages because I'm making it in a really big batch. This batch, if you were just using it for your family, would probably last a little while, but the bottled kind will last you, if you're doing it every day consistently, about 30 days. If you're doing it not consistently, it'll last you a little bit longer, but this is the season for it. So, and if you ever go into a store, you can buy elderberry syrup from the store, but it's got a whole bunch of nonsense in it. Like, I literally have ingredients, like the literal ingredients to make it. And so that's vastly different from what you're going to get in the store. Plus, obviously this is enchanted vibes, right? And if you're in the Facebook groups, you know all about enchanting. You've heard me say it a million times. We actually enchant the herbs before we put them in there. And we enchant while we're making it. So this is also going to be part of the Practical Priestess series, where basically I'm going to be teaching, it's like life skills, but with magic. With a little razzle dazzle, little life skills magic. So we're actually going to learn how to cook with intention. So this class will be part of that series for free, but there are 6 classes total outside of this class in the series, and it'll be $100, and it will be, I think it is actually already up on my site. If you go, 4 of the classes are listed. There are 2 more coming in December that I have not made public yet. So, but there will be a total of 6 classes, plus this class will be added to it. So we've got a lot going on this fall. Good morning. I don't know who Facebook user is, but good morning. Let StreamYard see your name so I can address you properly, because I feel bad for not being able to actually say who you are. Priestess Ola, you said you posted this to your Facebook? You're still on mute, baby. Hi, Sharika.
Good rising, everyone.
I just did a whole bunch of talking, so if you want to talk while I wash out my pot real quick, that's fine.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Priestess Ola. I know many of you do not know who I am as of yet, or maybe you do. But good morning. I just wanted to, hi, Ocean Kamibi. I wanted to come on live this morning with Priestess Ifaponmilé because, like she said, we have a ritual tonight and we need elderberry syrup, and I don't have any. So I thought it would be great to share making this syrup with everyone on my business page as well as my personal page. So everything applies to everyone. On my pages that Ifaponmilé said, you're more than welcome to purchase her classes, as well as my elderberry syrup will be available for purchase as well. So let me know if you all need anything.
Priestess, can you talk about your community work a little bit? Because I feel like you are just so fantastic. You do so many great things that people don't know and people need to know about you.
Oh my goodness. So outside of priestessing, I am a community advocate and I do community development. I am the executive director for the Black community of Portland here in Portland, Oregon. That is a nonprofit community-based organization, and it started out grassroots, just really very much focused on what the Black community members here in Portland needed and wanted, and also really making sure that everyone got the resources and information that was intended for them. I don't know if people know about Portland at all, but it's very white here. Um, Black folks are spread out because of gentrification. TIF districts. I don't know if you guys know about TIF districts, but I've been on one lately with TIF districts. So, yeah, but I basically I've transitioned the organization into doing community development work by way of outreach and engagement with programming under youth engagement. The program is called Little Africa School of Empowerment. And I have a housing program, well, an enrichment program, if you will, that is called Ujamaa Enrichment Program. And these programs are really designed to, one, help with self-development for the youth, and then really accepting and loving who they are personally as they are now and as they continue to grow and flourish. And the enrichment program is a part of our belief and value system that Black folks can be fully self-sufficient without needing any type of resources or funding from, like SNAP and things like that. And we hear a lot of conversations about people asking, or making comments like, how can I get a better job and still keep my food stamps? Well, it's not possible because that's not how energy works. But just as a people, we need to be more self-sufficient and less reliant upon the minority group because we are the majority. So, yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
I just want to say that you are so dope. And
thank you.
Destiny just said it because I was about to say that too. I want to be like you when I grow up. Because
I'm still growing up though, y'all. Like, it took me a little bit to get here, but I'm here and I'm not going nowhere. I think long-term goal for BCP is to become a national organization and to redevelop in other communities across the country that actually need community advocacy and support. And Facebook user has a question.
Go ahead, baby. What's your question? I know Sharika was one of the Facebook users, but I'm not sure if that's still the thing.
Right.
So do we travel? I don't know if that's the same Facebook user, but yes, we have most of our public events are in Atlanta right now, where our godmother is. That's kind of like our hub for the Orisa Hoodoo Institute and Black Spectrum Network. So most of our events are in Atlanta. Very soon, I would say, let me turn my camera back on, my bad. I would say in 2024, there may be the possibility of events, still OHI events, but in other cities. Because I'm in Ohio, we have priestesses on the West Coast, like Priestess Ifaponmilé. We have priestesses in Florida. We have priestesses in Alabama. We have priestesses in DC. So we have a wide array of places that we can go. We just don't have any official events scheduled yet for anything outside of Atlanta at this time.
Well, I do have some planning happening on my end, so I'll be submitting some proposals pretty soon. But I do, I'm available. We do travel though several times a year to Atlanta for various rituals, ceremonies, and just gathering and being in community. It's really actually a very beautiful experience. And I know Priestess Omoshule and I are planning to do some talking about sisterhood because that's really a big main part of this of our coven is sisterhood. It's not anything less than that. And I am going to go ahead and join Priestess Ifaponmilé and get my.
Could you tell I was doing ritual protocol?
Yes, I see you moving in the circle. I was like, okay. Thank you for the energy because I am starting to cool down now, but you know me, I get super hot all the time. So I'm about to do some Omi Tutu in just 2 seconds.
I was hot before I started, so let me see if I can turn this up just a little bit so y'all can actually see my head. I was hot before I started, so I hope I turned on the air, so I'm hoping that works.
Okay. I will be back in 2 seconds. I'm going to do my virtual protocol.
So we do ritual protocol before we do any rituals. This helps to clear any negative energy that is in the area, and it also helps bring in the energy that we actually want to bring in. And so it is important before you do any ritual to do some sort of ritual protocol. So if you're in OHI, you would do ours with whatever adaptions that you would need. If you are in one of the other mentorship programs, I'm sure your godparent has something that you would do before you start rituals. And it's just a good practice to have to help make sure that your space is as clear as possible. Also, clean your space. So, like, if you're doing work in your kitchen, clean your kitchen before you do your work. You don't want to be doing work in a dirty area. Make sure it's organized and things are kind of like easy to get to and you don't have things in the way. You want to do that before any ritual, whether you're cooking or not. Some rituals are, even like a cord cutting. You want to make sure that you are doing all your things. Hi, Priestess Ayola. You want to make sure that you are doing some types of cleansing of your space. You can burn palo, you can burn incense. You can, if you use sage, you just have to make sure you're putting something back in. So make sure you're doing prayers or burning some type of incense or playing music, something like that. And you can definitely play music. You just want to make sure that the music is like on topic. So if you're doing money magic, then you can have all the money songs, and it doesn't matter if they're low vibrational. You can still play them because I have my own mix, and Priestess Oshun Funke, my godmother, has her mix, and they have some of the same songs on them. And so there's some Cardi B on there. You know what I'm saying? And there's some other things on there. It doesn't have to be, gospel or, super high vibrational stuff like Ibeyi or Le Nubian or anything like that. It could be, yes, the Push It track by OT Genesis. Okay, it could be a lot of things. It does not have to be super sanctified or whatever. If anybody doesn't already know this, if you didn't already watch it, I think it's on mine. I think it's on my YouTube channel, but I know it's on Priestess Almost Relay's YouTube channel about misconceptions of a priestess. Okay, because we're so used to Christianity and what priestesses do as Christians and what that means as a Christian that we don't know what that means in other practices. And so that doesn't mean that we are lawless and we do what we want and that type of stuff. We still have, a moral code to abide by, right? And each one of us has our own protocols for life, our own restrictions. I have restrictions that are different from Priestess Olaia. Priestess Ifajoke is in the comments. She's watching from YouTube. It says Omo Bolatan. But she has her own set of restrictions. Priestess Iola has her own set. So Oshun maybe once she gets to this point, she'll have her own set of things that, she's going to have to pay a little bit more attention to and abide by. And so we just do our best. The goal is to always do your best, be a better you, be a more fly you, be a more at peace you, that type of thing. So those are the real goals. So, did you want to say anything about priestessing? Normal priestessing, practical priestessing in real life, not the stuff that people get to make cool videos for.
Oh, I mean, doing community work is a form of priestessing. Anytime you're putting anyone else above yourself and ensuring the well-being of another person, you're actually priestessing, right? So priestess is someone who takes care of their community. A priestess is someone who heals their community. And a priestess is someone who looks out for the well-being of their community. And so I technically have been full-time priestessing for several years now without having authorization or proper title within my spiritual religious practice, because I love my community, I love my people, and I want to make sure that we're good. So priestessing is something that we do when we're moms, when we're aunties. I'm a community aunt. I have a lot of kids who be texting me and asking me for stuff to bring them stuff, and I oblige and I do it. So yeah, I think priestessing is definitely something that is slept on. And I think more of us are actually priestessing and we just don't even know it and we don't acknowledge it that way because of Western beliefs and all the things. But I'm not going to get into a tangent about any of those things. Just priestessing is more than potions and spell bottles and mixing things together. It's also a form of taking care of yourself and your family and your community. That's it. That's all. Is there any questions? Help with relationships. If you need help with relationships, I would suggest going to the Love Goddess. I am an enchantress and like a healer, things like that, but I haven't really started exploring helping other people in various levels. So I would suggest going to the Love Goddess for relationship help.
I second that. The Love Goddess is, depending upon what kind of help you need, you're probably going to need the Love Goddess. I will say that part of the Practical Priestessing series that I am doing, the 4th class, I believe, is going to be called Kingmakers. And we are going to be talking about how to build a good foundation for a relationship and what that really means. And some of the things that a lot of us don't consider in a relationship, unfortunately. There is a lot of one-sidedness in many relationships. And so part of this series is to kind of stop that, especially on the female end, because society has a lot of things that they will tell us that we need to make requirements for relationships. But society sucks. And so some things just aren't practical in all actuality. Some things are kind of archaic in the way that they are done. And there is a balance between actual feminism, which is the equality of women to men, right? And then there's a difference between feminism that's like real feminism, what feminism was actually about, and some of what's actually happening now. And so this class is really going to be about how we can still be in touch with our divine feminine and be soft. You know, we can be in our soft era, but still be the person we need to be for ourselves and the person that we need to be for our partner, because we have to, there's certain needs that you just need as a human. There's certain things that you need, right? There's a certain things that we need in this society to function. And so it's about being a functioning adult, a functioning feminine adult in parts, you know, like I said, being in touch with your divine feminine and also your divine masculine, because there has to be a balance. We can't always be in our masculine. We can't always be in our feminine. That's not how it was ever intended to be. And somehow we were told that we couldn't be masculine at all, although society made us masculine. And then we were told you shouldn't be masculine at all. You should have no masculinity as a female. And that's not entirely true. We need both, just like men need a divine feminine. And so the class is going to be about how we come together and do it the right way, in a better way than what we have been doing, so that we can stop some of this foolishness that we've been dealing with in our relationships. So yes, we can help with relationships, but that's not like the wheelhouse. I'm not going to do work on no ashy man for you. Don't ever come to me talking about how this nigga done did you wrong and you want him to pay, because I'm never going to do that. That's never going to be me. Never, 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 never.
Ditto. We don't sound like that in these parts.
Never, never, never. We can have a conversation. I'll do a reading on what you need to know. We can do my ancestral reading. Those are $77. They will be on sale for Black Friday. So if you can wait till Black Friday, wait till Black Friday. But if you can't, because you need to know right now, that's fine. 77. You can book it on my site, and we can talk about that. But I'm never going to give you a working of how to keep an ashy man, or an ashy female, or an ashy individual, an ashy non-binary, an ashy goat. I'm not going to be the one to do that. That's not my calling.
Right. I will help you with your self-love. We will do self-love affirmations to your blue in the face and gratitude to help you get on the path to where the love that you seek is mirrored from what you're giving yourself. That is what I will help you with. I help with self-love and things like that. The whole workings on ashy dudes, no thank you. I pass that along. I will help you with yourself, though.
We've grown from that so much.
Help you with yourself, because that's the most important thing. If you are not loving yourself in a way that the love you give yourself can be mirrored from the partner that you have or someone that you're going after, then you're doing it all wrong, and you need to continue to hit the books, continue to work on that self-love. And don't even waste your energy or time on trying to do some working on some ashy nigga with stuff that's discolored. Like, come on, people. Let's just work on ourselves and do the things that we need to for ourselves to attract the love that we want.
Amen, Ashe.
Amen, Ashe.
Amen, Ashe. So right now I am getting started. I'm measuring out my ingredients. This particular work, because we're cooking with it, I'm doing it a little bit different so that it kind of like reduces on dishes and mess. So I have my pot, right, that I made sure was washed and clean, and I have a bowl, a white bowl. Try to use white as often as possible. And when you are cooking, try to use plastic utensils. Avoid using metal at all times, because metal is a spirit. And in our practice, metal is a very specific spirit, and you don't always want to invite that spirit into your work, because not that it would have consequences, it just may have unintended effects. And so just be very intentional about that. And so I'm taking my ingredients, I'm putting them in the measuring cup, and then I'm putting them in the bowl, and then I'm enchanting them. So when it comes to enchanting, you need a cigar, but tobacco of some sort. You can have a really nice Cuban cigar if that's what you do. If you partake of the herb, I've had my boyfriend blow into mine because I don't smoke. So you want to make sure that you get, I know y'all saw that smoke, right? Get a lot of smoke on there, and then you just pray over your herbs. Make sure you touch them. Now y'all can hear me touching them. Make sure your hands is clean. But you do actually need to touch them. So I want to emphasize this because a lot of times people have a problem with people touching things that they're selling, right? So first of all, wash your hands. Okay, let's just start there. Let's just wash your hands. However, you actually have to touch it really to get your ashe into it. And obviously don't do this when you're sick, because if you're going to be selling it, you need to make sure that you are healthy when you're doing this, because you don't want to be breathing on other people's stuff. So just use basic common sense. Be clean when you do it. But you should actually touch it to get your ashe into it and to really get the energy into it. It's better that you touch it with your hands. Can you use gloves? Sure. If you are absolutely that person, fine. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, I wash my hands and I'm using my hands. Period. Now you know. Yes, wood or silicone utensils are best. That is, yep, a lot of elders have the wooden spoons in their kitchens. For dried orange peel. Okay, so Destiny. I typically use dried orange peel. I actually have a bag of dried orange peel that looks like one of these bags. I'm not using that for this particular batch. I want to see the difference because I've been using dried orange peel the whole time that I've been making this. So like 2 years almost since I started making this. And so this time I'm going to use regular orange peels and see how it goes and see if there's a real difference in taste. It'll be definitely easier to strain once we get to that part. There'll be less little things in it, but it's not, I would say do both and see which is best for you. But I was using dried ones before and it tasted amazing. Like, I love the way this tastes and smells when it's being cooked. My kids don't like it, but I don't care because it's delicious. Like, I could really just drink the elderberry syrup. Like, damn a tablespoon, I'm going to drink a bottle. Like, it's actually, like, quite delicious. Like, it's almost like, it makes you feel kind of fancy because it kind of tastes like a wine with the ingredients being put in and you're cooking it. It's very reminiscent of a very high wine. And really, you could probably just mix this in with another drink. So you could mix it in with your tea. I've done that before. I've put my tablespoon of elderberry syrup in the tea just to kind of add a little boom, boom, pow. You can put it in your wine if you want. If you got a nice red that's not very sweet, because the elderberry syrup won't be very sweet. And you will not be seeing us put the honey in it today because it needs to cool off before you put the honey in it. If you put the honey in it while it's still hot, it changes the taste and it changes the makeup of it. But so you have to wait till it's completely cooled off to put the honey in there. So that's another little tip. If you end up making this, is wait till it's cooled off to put your honey in it. And you've noticed the difference. Like, if you've ever put honey in hot tea and then put honey in cold tea, you'll see the difference. It is a big difference. So add the honey once it's fully cooled down. How many ounces on average does one yield? I'm trying to fill up a big jar. And for the famine, I'm wondering if I need to double the recipe. So,
Yep. I definitely am going to do a small jar. I'm going to do a small jar to start because I have to get more elderberries.
So I'm doing like the full recipe. So the class, because you're in the coven, Destiny, so you have access to the full class with the full measurements. I usually use 2 spaghetti jars, and I'm kind of split it between the 2 so that I can add the honey and still stir it up, and it won't be like too full to where I can't stir it. But these won't be full, but it'll be, significant. So I done took the label off, so I don't remember how many ounces this is, but it's significant. It's enough. Like I said, if you're doing it for the whole family, I would double it for you. And the baby can have this. This is all this one priestess. Hi, Ia. We love you too. I would double it for you just because you got kids. And so yeah, yes, Ocean maybe it's real good. Like it really does taste like juice. And yes, Priestess Ifaponmilé, this can be used right away. It doesn't need to sit a certain amount of days or anything like that. Once it's cooled off and you add the honey, you can use it. It should probably sit for a couple hours, just like overnight to get that chill to it. Or if you put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours, it's fine. But it doesn't have like a cure time where you need to let it sit. And this does need to be refrigerated. This absolutely does need to be refrigerated. Destiny, the baby is 1. I believe that's when babies can have honey. So as long as we're past that time where the baby can have honey, you're good because there will be honey in here. But yeah, it's literally just herbs. So it's not. Elderberries can be poisonous if you don't cook them. So we're also going to do the whole cooking process on this live too. They should cook for about 45 minutes at least. That way you kind of get all the stuff out of it. But it needs to cook for at least 45 minutes. I usually do an hour when I'm doing mine because that's just, rather safe than sorry on in my mix. Plus these are dried herbs. Some of them, they're not like super fresh straight from like picking off out the garden or whatever. And so I tend to do an hour just to make sure I get all that I can out of them since they're not fresh. It's not coming out easily. It needs that heat to draw out the goodness in it. And then I pray constantly over it. So I'm going to enchant this first ingredient. Just kidding. I need something else.
So I'm also starting to do my enchantment. I'm using ceremonial tobacco so I can protect my lungs. So I just typically light my little tobacco like this and still get my ashe on it when I blow the smoke over what I'm enchanting. So
Oh, you fancy, huh?
I'm fancy. The only thing about this
Once
is
you enchant your herb, you can literally put it right in the pot. There's nothing in the pot right now, no wet ingredient or anything like that. So you can literally just throw it in the pot um, as soon as you enchant it. And then again, try to keep your workspace as clean as possible. And check your herbs as well. Like as you're doing it, you want to make sure that because you should have all natural herbs, right? So you just want to make sure that you check expiration dates, all that stuff. Get good ones. Like I don't want to use this one. I don't know if y'all can really see that, but it's not. It's kind of ashy, and I don't want to put that in the work. So, um, just go through and kind of make sure you're getting like the best ones for your work, especially because you're going to be cooking and consuming it. So, um, just make sure that you double check that.
And I just briefly wanted to mention, if you are using fresh orange peels, I would suggest still washing your orange off and doing a scrub with sea salt before putting it in anything that you're going to consume, because sometimes there's still pesticides even on the outsides of the fruits and vegetables. So anything that I'm using that's fresh, I'm definitely doing a sea salt scrub beforehand.
Yes. Um, if it doesn't come in already like a food grade packaging, like most of my stuff, like I have oranges that I got from the store. So I am going to actually wash these oranges, take the sticker off, and I'll actually show that part to you guys so you know that I washed it. I had to get a couple more rose hips because these weren't cute. So, like I said, make sure you get the best of the best when you are doing work in your, especially if you got to cook it and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you wouldn't accept it, why would your ancestors accept it? That's the same thing for offerings too. Like, if you wouldn't eat that, why are you giving it to them?
That part.
Don't do that.
I
Be
don't.
better.
I'm even kind and give them meat and stuff still, even though I don't be eating meat. I still, my brother does and my partner does. So I still be giving them all the things. You know,
Yes, and just because you're vegan doesn't mean your ancestors are. Please feed them, people.
right? So I be feeding them all the stuff, all the things.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Ching ching, ching ching. All right. Oh, we get to bring the big boy out. This is my echinacea. Echinacea is basically just good for magic. It's literally one of the most magical things that you can cook with. Anytime that you have the opportunity to add a little echinacea, do that. Like, it's literally for the purposes of magic and spellcasting. So
Can you open the door a little bit, honey?
if anybody ever says they made elderberry syrup and there's no echinacea in there, girl,
They ain't make no syrup.
get somebody else to do it because they didn't do it right. Like, this is literally probably other than the elderberry itself, this is probably the second most important ingredient. Like, you need echinacea. If you can get like echinacea tea, do that, baby, and like do that. There's a couple that have echinacea in them now. I've seen it be added to certain teas, certain herbal teas, and then they do have just like echinacea tea. So definitely, and it has a whole list of health benefits. Because this is not a class, I am not going to go over all the health benefits of these herbs. Google it. Google it. Read a book. Read a damn book. I know I say that a lot, but I'm so serious. Please read books, y'all. Don't trust the internet for everything. Like, literally, go get a book, see who wrote the book, what their qualifications are, and then go to the back of the book where the sources, the bibliography. Go back there and see what sources they use for that book, and then go read them too. Sorry, I hate to smoke though. It's not my favorite thing. But we do it because we should. So we're about halfway there. There's so many good herbs in this, y'all. Like things I had never heard of. And I'm just so happy to be in an environment where I can learn how to do stuff for real and not just like the cutesy stuff that you see on TikTok and stuff. Like, I'm actually learning how to do stuff and teaching how to do stuff that can protect your kids, protect your family, protect your relationship. And I feel like that's so much more important than what gets talked about.
I agree. Protecting your family, especially protecting your kids during the school year, I think we'd be sleeping on that. I think it's very, very important to make sure that while our children are in vulnerable spaces with learning and incorporating new things, they need to be protected on a whole nother level. Like a whole nother level. Definitely agree with you.
Yes, so part of the Practical Priestess series, actually, I'm going to be teaching a class on protecting small children because we I don't want to say we pretend, we forget about babies, like fresh out the coochie babies. They need spiritual protection because, as some of us know, as some of us have been in some interesting situations with partners, right? And so you want to make sure that nobody's putting that negative energy on your child because they can. And so we don't always think about that when we're giving birth to children, that we can actually do work to protect them long before they can do work for themselves. So it's wonderful to do work for school-age children to protect them when they're out in this world, but we also have to protect our newborn babies and our infants and the babies that can't hold their head up yet, our loose necks, our Christian juniors. Okay, we gotta protect all the babies, not just the ones in school. And so I am going to be teaching class on ways to protect smaller babies as well as they grow up, and then eventually learn how to do things with you by seeing you do them.
Absolutely. I agree.
And another note about enchanting, you want to always make sure that at least one ingredient is enchanted for protection. At least one. You can have them do multiple, um, but at least one needs to be enchanted for protection. Always, always, always. Doesn't matter if you're consuming it or not. You always want to have at least one enchanted for protection. I probably should have did these elderberries in halves. It is elderberry syrup, so obviously that's the thing that's the most in here. I'm thinking I should have did half at a time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. My bowl isn't big enough, and I want to make sure that I enchant it properly. Let's try this again. See? Trial and error. Y'all are watching this live. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work. So yes, when you do this, do your elderberry half at a time. It'll work out much better for you. And if you have like the kind that I have, there's like sticks in here.
Yep, take them out.
And so you want to make sure you take them out. So it's better if you do half at a time so that you can really dig through it. Unless you have like a huge bowl. Which I do not. I mean, I do. I just didn't want to use it for this. And you're not gonna be able to get them all out, so don't like painstakingly sit and like get every stick out, because we are gonna strain this with a cheesecloth. So it's not like it, or at least a strainer. If you put cheesecloth on top of your strainer, it's better. It will stop it from clogging up your actual strainer. But and it just makes it a much more fine strain. You don't have to use cheesecloth. It's just highly recommended.
I'm going to be using my tincture strainer bag. It's my favorite.
Oh, yes. I need to get some of those because I
Absolutely.
really want one.
I'm going to grab a couple more, but it does wonders. Literally. It's the bomb.
one more of that. Has anybody that's watching, have you ever made elderberry syrup before? If you're watching, I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. Has anybody ever made this before? Or has anybody that's watching ever had mine? Because I've sold, I don't know how many batches of this elderberry syrup now. I make it every year and sell it. What does your elderberries look like again? Mine are tiny. Yes. Priestess Ifaponmilé, mine are super tiny. Super duper tiny. Like, if I held one up to the camera, you probably couldn't even see it. Here's kind of like a cluster of them. But they're like super, super tiny. Super duper tiny. Yes, Destiny. Yeah, we don't. It's so that actually in our culture, a christening, there is something that we do that's very similar. I believe it's on the 7th day after a baby is born. And so I have not experienced that yet because my current children were born before I was in the practice. And so any future children that I have, like it's a big thing when a baby is born. Like there's actually a lot that happens in the days after. There's like a reading and all types of stuff that you can do to kind of figure out, at that moment what the destiny of that child is, and anything that you need to work on or help that child work on. And so we're going to talk more about that in the What About the Children? That's what the class is called. What about the children? We're going to talk about it more kind of in that class. Hopefully Ia is able to drop in on that class because I know she knows more about the ceremony than I do. I've never actually experienced this ceremony, but I've definitely read on it for obvious reasons so that I know what to expect. What to expect when you're expecting. Did anybody ever read that book? What to Expect When You're Expecting? Anybody who's ever had a kid? If you've ever read that book will kind of mess you up a little bit. I mean, it's good for like first time moms, but like, bruh, it will. It's one of those things where it's better that you hear it now instead of going through it and be confused or scared. That's how I feel about that book. And actually, it's actually not as bad as it could be now that I'm thinking back on it, because there's plenty of things that weren't in that book. So I make elderberry tea regularly and didn't simmer them for 45 minutes. So I'm happy to be here. So if it was already cooked elderberries, it's fine. But like the ones that I have, so on the package of mine, because these are like raw elderberries, it says bring water and elderberry to boil for 15 to 20 minutes until tender and soft. So that's just what the package said. But because we're doing a lot, we've got a lot of things that we're putting into this syrup, a lot of energy, a lot of prayers, and we want it to really blend with the other things. So you want to kind of take it a little longer than that. 45 minutes at least. Do not make elderberry syrup and cook it less than 45 minutes. I'm telling you now. That's just like certain things where, yeah, you could cook it less time, but you might get sick. Or it might not taste the same. Sorry, I'm picking up. There's some weird berries in here. I'm picking them all out. Yeah, just do 45 minutes. If you're doing anything else, do what the package say. But for elderberry syrup, at least 45 minutes. I really hate the smoke, y'all. I hate it so much. Priestess, how many ingredients you got left? I just got 2 more. I got to do my cinnamon and my oranges.
Just my cinnamon sticks. I'm doing oranges right now.
This is fresh cinnamon, y'all. I just hold on. Don't get me wrong. So you can see. I just got this. I just took the label off. These is fresh. Try and get the best ones. Cinnamon is like most people use cinnamon because cinnamon blowing day or whatever. Cinnamon can be used for so many things, and one of the things they won't tell you about is quickening. We always add the intention of quickening to cinnamon so that things get done quick, fast, and in a hurry. So if you're doing prosperity work, if your spiritual court approves cinnamon, do that, okay? Do that because it will definitely add good things to your work. But quickening, if you need something done quick, cinnamon and mint. Mint is another one.
Most times, Destiny, at the herbal store, they're not going to sell you cooked stuff. Are they small, tiny, and like wrinkled? Almost look black?
Yeah, they'll be dry and hard.
Mm-hmm.
If you get them from an herbal store. I got some nice big oranges. Some big ones. I'm making I'm gonna take the lemons because we need lemons for our working later today. So I'm going to take lemons and these here oranges that I'm peeling, and I'm going to make something similar to what we did in the spring. I don't know if you were back when we did this one, but we basically made real life lemonade. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's just lemon and honey,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so good. Like lemon, honey, spring
Delicious.
water, and it was just so amazing and delicious. But this time I'm gonna add a little orange to it.
Nice.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I was really surprised at how good it was. I didn't think it was gonna be as good as it was. I like lemon, but I was still a little skeptical
Yeah.
of like making it that way. And now like I really don't want none of that other stuff because this was so good.
Yeah, I've actually slowed down on drinking regular lemonade unless it's Newman's. Because that lemonade was fire.
I've never
Actually,
had
like
that.
my partner was like, "You didn't even let me taste it." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you wanted to." I didn't know you wanted to taste it.
I'm up here peeling this like I'm about to eat it right now. I'm not about to eat this right now. Let me move on. I'm tripping. My bad, y'all. I'm like, I haven't eaten yet. I'm fasting. But like I'm only eating my fruits and vegetables, nuts. That's it. I'm not eating any grains, so no rice, no breads, none of that, no animals. And so I'm a little peckish right now. And so this orange started looking real good to me.
I feel that. I moved mine out of bird's eye view, definitely.
So forgive me for just staring lovingly into this orange like I was when I was peeling it just now.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't decided. I have a juicer. I was thinking maybe I was gonna put it in my juicer, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to just I have like a squeezer thing. That's not what it's called.
A
Where
squeezer thing.
I have one of these.
A squeezer.
Yeah,
It's a
I got
squeezer.
one of them. So I'm gonna use that
I
for my.
feel that.
I'm gonna
I'm
use.
excited for tonight's working. I can't wait.
And here I go. Here I go. Still trying to peel this bitch like I'm about to eat it. Stop.
You probably need to go on ahead and take a bite. It's probably
Listen, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it while we cook.
okay. Uh, probably need to do
Look
that.
at y'all. There is still so many of y'all in here. I really appreciate y'all. I really do. Y'all done stuck with it for an hour, 8 minutes, and I be loving y'all so much. Y'all are so supportive and stuff. I really love y'all.
Mm-hmm. Same.
And so, Destiny, I will tell you because we just had this discussion. And anybody who really who's watching. So in the recipe, it has a certain measurement for orange peels. I just basically peeled 2 big oranges. Um, that's a little bit more than the actual measurement. I'm sure if I squished it down, it would still be more. Um, but my oranges are big, so these are actual oranges. They're not mandarins. They're actual like real oranges, and they're kind of big, like as big as my palm. So just look at it based on the size of your oranges, but having a little more isn't going to hurt it. Like especially with this big ingredient, it's not something that's going to take up too much. So it's not going to hurt it if you have a little bit more. The measurements when you take the class are based on about how much you want to make, but you can always adapt it to fit what you're doing. And sometimes when stuff is dried, it's a lot smaller anyway than what it would be if it were fresh, because it literally shrivels up. So if you use 2 whole oranges, that is perfectly fine. And then after you have got all your dry ingredients together, you want to mix them together. I like, when I use cinnamon sticks, I like to stir with the cinnamon stick, because then you're stirring all the goodness and prosperity, um, and whatever else you enchanted your cinnamon with into the work. Um, if you have a wand of some sort, I have a selenite wand that I use to stir things with sometimes, as long as it's not wet, because I believe selenite is one that's not supposed to get water on it.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, so you don't want to use selenite to stir anything while it's wet. But you can set it on top. So like my Florida water, I'm gonna grab my Florida water for y'all too. So there's one more that's still completely in the jar. I'm gonna grab it so y'all can see it before I bottle that one too. But I have my selenite wand on top of my Florida waters while they sit for however many days it is determined that they need to sit. So you want to use your hands too, for sure. But if you can use the ingredients to mix them together, like I'm basically going like this with my cinnamon sticks, you can do that too. Also, when you stir, the direction in which you stir matters. We'll talk about this more during the Cooking with Intentions class. It's going to be called Made with Love. But the direction that you stir matters. You can stir either direction, but you want to be intentional as to why you're stirring that direction. And you want to be intentional about your thoughts, prayers, everything that you're doing if you're stirring in a particular direction. Most of us, when we were taught to cook, and we don't even know why, if you was taught to cook by a black woman, chances are you was taught to stir clockwise. There is a reason for that. So join the Practical Priestess series, which if you click the link in the description, it'll take you to my classes, and you can purchase the Practical Priestess series there. First class will be October 7th. We are going to be talking about making routines, spiritual routines that actually work for us, because not everybody has the same routine. And so what I do daily is going to be different from Priestess Olaia. What we do is going to be different from Oshun Kamibi. What she does is going to be different from Priest Oshun Bole. What Priest Oshun Bole does is going to be different from Ia. So like we all have our own thing. So it's just really about finding what works for you. So that's what we're going to be doing in the class. This is typically a service that I offer for like $77.77, which Oshun Kamibi actually purchased that from me. Before Oshun Kamibi was in the coven, Oshun Kamibi was all about that life. So right after she got her ancestral life path reading, she got a spiritual routine. And I think we did a reading too. I can't remember. But I remember it was so crazy because the things that we were talking about, and when she was with me, I didn't know she had an ancestral life path reading, and Ia doesn't discuss those with anybody. So like we don't know what's in y'all's divination unless we were helping her with the divination. So when she did Oshun Kamibi's divination, I had no idea what was said, and my reading matched Oshun Kamibi's situation like real well. So that's how you know spirit really be moving. Because E and I did not talk about that girl at all. And I pulled these cards and I showed her what the cards said. And she was like, oh, that literally just came out of my reading. And whoop, there it is. So once you get everything really mixed up, let me see if I can show you. Will it let me turn my camera around? I don't think it will.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah, because I don't have a new laptop yet.
You should be able to. I can't. I'm on my laptop. Oh God.
Let me see if y'all can turn this around for y'all. It don't say. I don't think it's gonna let me. Okay, so I'm gonna just tilt my phone in. So that's what it looks like, y'all. Before um before we add the water to it. It's good and mixed up. Okay. It's looking beautiful. Looking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Did you already add the water to yours, Priestess?
Not yet. I haven't added water.
Can we get a little a little gander at yours?
I don't know if you guys can see. Oh no.
You weren't supposed to pour it out. Oh, it looks pretty though.
Thank you. Can you see?
Yep, I can see it. It looks good. It looks good.
Thank you. I need some berries though. When I got berries yesterday, I should have just bought the whole jar and I didn't. I underestimated how many I really needed.
Let me enchant these as a whole real quick before I start putting in water. I was talking instead of enchanting. And if you want to blow a little bit more smoke in there once they all together, that's a great idea.
Yeah, to enchant them together, to work together in tandem.
If you've seen any of the Florida water classes, we like to blow smoke into the jar and then close it. It's a great idea.
My jar still kind of has smoke in it. I don't know if you can tell.
It does? Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. My big one does too. Okay, one more. Okay. Last enchantments.
Okay, so I'm gonna add my water now. I got spring water.
Yep, same.
Good old spring water.
I'm gonna move. All right, here I am. See these lights. Spring water.
And the good thing about making this, and this is something I really this must be a download because many times I done did this, I never thought about this before. So when you're making this and this smell is like really all over your house, this is like a potpourri. So it's also helped putting that same energy into your entire household. And that is just simply fantastic. So whatever you enchanted it with, be super intentional with what you say, that you can make sure that you're fitting all types of amazing energy into your home while you're cooking it as well. I don't know why I never thought about that. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Yes, it is.
But if you've ever made like homemade potpourri, this would make a lot of sense to you because you know how that works. I love that's something I haven't made in a long time, and I need to start doing that again.
Yeah.
In a potpourri and like once a week, either on Saturday or Sunday, making a potpourri and just like re-enchanting my whole freaking house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that. I've been in the doing this year. What I've been practicing is just like with each season change, moving stuff around, doing a full cleansing and like blessing of my space and recharging everything like at the change of each season.
Yeah, I've been so busy with changing jobs that I haven't done everything at peak performance. I've been slipping. So um, clearly the ancestors are getting me together right now.
Well,
Right
I mean, you've been doing the work you're supposed to do though, so they
now.
give grace.
So this will get dark really quick.
Yep, mine's
Um,
dark super quick. As soon as the water touched the pot, I feel like okay.
yeah, like as soon as like if you look at your lemon peels, they're gonna start changing colors. I mean your orange peels. Like if you look at the inside, they're gonna be dark already. Um, those elderberries and the rose hips really. It's most of the elderberries though. They really took over.
Like quickly.
And I have my heat a little bit higher than medium just because I want to get this to like a simmer, and then I'm gonna turn it down. And I am stirring clockwise right now, but at some point I will change that and stir counterclockwise and have a little bit different intentions. I'm really actually excited for this cooking class.
Mm-hmm.
Made with love. We're gonna be talking about just basic stuff. So basically, I'm for the most part I'm gonna be giving the intentions of some ingredients and just like some of the intentions of the process. But you can use those things to cook anything. So it doesn't matter if you're cooking spaghetti or chili. Um, doesn't matter if you're cooking chicken, anything. We're gonna go over a few different things that you can cook and what kind of intentions that you can put into them to kind of put a little extra love in it. That's why it's called made with love.
Tastes better when it's made with love.
It absolutely does. I don't know if y'all noticed this. So if you've ever taken your time to kind of make something, or at least paid attention, versus when you was rushing, baby, it tastes way different.
Mm-hmm. Way different.
Way different. I remember I made something one time, and my boyfriend was like, "Oh, you was in a hurry, huh?" And I was like, "Nigga, get out of my face."
Bye.
It was still. He was like, "It's good. It's still good." But I know the difference. And I was like, yeah, well, get out my face. Get out my face. Is it a potpourri class? So I am actually going to make that part of the Practical Priestess series. So thank you for that, Destiny. That will be one of the December classes for the Practical Priestess series. It'll be a potpourri class. So thank you. I'll give some suggested ingredients and things that you can enchant them for, but you can use whatever you want for the class, and we will make it together. Um, Potpourri is actually very easy to make.
Yeah, I love potpourri.
Super easy some names.
Self-love potpourri with Priestess Omoshule.
Mm-hmm. But that was like a physical potpourri. I'm talking about the kind that you put on the stove.
The stove, yeah.
And just let it sit. Oh, I'm starting to be able to smell the orange.
I just turned mine up a little bit higher.
I can start to smell that orange. I feel like I want to add more cinnamon. Hold on, let me see.
Hey, Bo, hey. What's wrong? Oh, you had to come inside?
Yes.
It's kind of chilly outside already, though.
Yes.
This is applesauce.
Okay, yeah, they want me to add more cinnamon.
I'm about to grab my shells.
Everything else is good. I just need to add more cinnamon. And I think I already know the number. So I'm not even going to bother. I'm going to double check. But yep, I had the number right. Let me get my life together. So that's another part of doing work too, is checking your progress with spirit, divining to make sure that everything is going the way it needs to go, and also listening to spirit. So if you hear a little voice, divine to make sure that that's what we're doing. Sometimes the little voice is just the voice. It's your own mind. It's not necessarily spirit. So that's why we divine to make sure that it's actually spirit and not your own consciousness. All right. So let's add those now. It's starting to smell real good already. We're only like 8 minutes in. So Destiny, I will tell you the difference between using fresh orange peels and dried orange. The smell is a little bit different right now because I can definitely smell the difference in the fresh orange. So there is that. It's a little tidbit for you. But let me see if I can get one so y'all can see this on camera. Maybe, maybe not. Without my whole camera tipping. Can y'all see? There we go. That's what that orange peel looks like with all the stuff in it. I need to buy a new stand because this one done got a little janky. Should be dropping. I love lemonade. I need to make some without bad sugars too. I'll try the honey. Yes. Basically all it is lemon. You get you one of these.
A squeezer.
A little squeezer. Take the peel off. And you can put the peels in it to let it sit so that you get some of that goodness from the nutrients from the peel, but you don't have to like consume the peel. Or if you want to get some of the zest in there, you can. If it doesn't bother you when you drink it, you can do that as well. But get you one of those, peel it, and then stick it in there because there's like a little hole right here. You stick it right there, and then you close it and squeeze it. And make sure you submerge this in your whatever it is you're doing. So, like, I have one of the ones, there's something in it right now. I got to wash it out. But I have one of the ones that is glass. And you put things in the top, and it has the little pouring thing at the bottom. That's the one that I have. And so, make sure that's closed and not open, because I've done that. But make sure this is like fully in there, so that when you squeeze it, all the juice is going to squirt all over the place, but it's squirting inside the container and not like out on your table or whatever. But I have a big gallon that I have something in it that I'm about to just say fuck it and wash it, because I actually did juice something and I just didn't consume it all. So that's another reason why I didn't want to juice it for the one that I'm going to make today, because juicing it does taste a little bit different because it gets all those parts in there, which is healthy for you. I want to be able to enjoy it. Like, I want to be able to sit and be like, yes. And so I'm not going to use my juicer for that. You inspire me to want to use the pendulum for divining on things I'm not emotionally attached to. Yeah. I really, me and my baby, we get along real well. I just did a whole thing for her the other day. It was a whole event. We had a good, about over 30 minutes to ourselves. Just us. Ooh, it's starting to smell. Okay, so if you've ever had mincemeat pie does not have meat in it at all. It's a dessert. And it is so MFing good. You could get it at the grocery store, right next to where apple pie and stuff be. It's usually over there, like right around now. I don't usually see it until about fall. And that's probably why I love making elderberry syrup so much, because it smells a lot like mincemeat pie. It has like apples and a bunch of other stuff in it, other fruit in it, and a different spice. So it's not just like the apple spice, but it is so good. Yeah. It's mince meat pie. So MINCE meat pie. But there is no meat. It is a fruit pie, and it is just divine. Absolutely divine. Who's still with us? I know Destiny's still with us. Who's still in here with us? Destiny's been carrying the chat for the last 20 minutes. Who else we still got? Somebody else just popped back in. Say hey, so we know that you here. There's quite a few of y'all in here. We want to know who we talking to. Oh, Jesus. Here. Is that Sharika, Facebook user? I can't tell because it say Facebook user. And I want to be able to address you properly. If it says Facebook user, you gotta tell me who you are, because I don't know. I see Destiny. Everybody after Destiny, I can't tell. If you're watching from my YouTube channel, I can see your name. But if you're watching from Facebook, you gotta let StreamYard share your name. Yeah, I'm sorry. You have to let Facebook share your name to StreamYard. Okay. Hey, Cherry Bomb. That's my baby, y'all. Cherry Bomb was part of Priestess and Training program last year. That's how I met her. And we've had, girl, how many times have we had a long conversation? Jesus. Hey, Jamila. Girl, one time we talked. I thought this was going to be like a little quick, half an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Child, I think we was on the phone like 10 hours. What was that?
Them long conversations be the best.
We was on Zoom, baby. Listen. She came to Saturday Morning Groove. So that starts at 8 a.m. Eastern. we was in a Saturday morning group, and as soon as Saturday morning group came off, we had some things that we had to talk about, and I don't think we finished until, Lord, it was after 5 p.m. for sure. It was a long conversation, but it was dope though. Like, it wasn't like the type of conversation from like, girl, get out of my face. It wasn't like that. Like, we was really talking about some real stuff. It was a great conversation.
Yeah, I feel that. Long conversations be needed sometimes. Touch on all the subjects.
Yes, baby, crunching, munching, and all. We was eating. I don't even remember what I was eating, but I be eating. I'm never gonna starve. Okay, never gonna starve. I don't have it in me to starve. You hear me?
I feel that. I feel that. Okay. Time for orange. My great grandma always used to tell me, don't pick the white stuff off your oranges. That's where all the nutrients are.
Yeah, but it's nasty as hell.
Yeah. The orange is sweet enough.
It's not my favorite thing at all. It's starting to smell so good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to smell that cinnamon now. Yep, I smell that extra cinnamon. I dig it, y'all. I see why y'all told me to do it or whatever. And that's another reason why you got to divine too, because what recipe works for me may not work for you. Your ancestors may want something a little different. They may want you to add something. They may want you to add like hyssop or something. They may want you to add hibiscus, whatever. So that's why you got to divine, even in group workings, like the one we're going to do tonight. Divine to make sure that you have what you're supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
And since I'm making this to sell, they know who's going to buy it. So the energy may require something a little different based on the energy that's in society right now. I also have a special enchantment that I'm going to do. Have you ever done anything creative with the leftover herbs after you've strained it out?
So sometimes, like, I've used for different stuff, because this is my first time making elderberry syrup, but when I've done like other things, like make the potpourri for New Year's, I've let it like dry out and just like kept it and set it in my living room or in like my kitchen table. And then like when it comes to like anything else, unless it's a tea that I'm drinking, then I'll just reuse it, but not really. Mm-mm. When we just cleared out the red eye, I just bottled up my red eye and I kept my cinnamon sticks. and we'll probably use them in a protection working later.
Mm-hmm.
So like and if it's not herbs, I'll use things like crystals and things that can be reused and charged with the energy that I'm using to make things, and use that energy in another working that relates.
So, funny story. The first time I made this, I just I buried the herbs. I buried it. I have a fenced in patio. It's a big, tall wood fence, and just outside of my fence, in the public part of the yard, there was a patch of grass. There was no grass. It was just dirt, and so I actually buried it there, like buried, put the stuff back on top, and now there is so much grass right there. I stopped burying stuff back there because I didn't want to dig it up, because it just looks so pretty now. Because before it didn't look cute, and so that's why I was burying stuff right there, because you wouldn't be able to tell because there wasn't no grass. Well, now the grass is there and it's so lush because certain workings I have buried back there, and certain workings I have raised garden beds for like my herbs and stuff, and so sometimes it gets buried in there. And this spring, it was so much stuff growing there. It was absolutely amazing. Somebody said divine and see if you could use it for a lamp. Yep, that'll work. Once it dries out. That's the thing though, because this is all natural and because it was wet, it will um, get mold if you don't watch how you dry it out. So
Yeah, like I like to my sister, one of my sisterhood sisters has a dehydrator, and some of my bath teas I put like dehydrated lemons or oranges in it. So I like to just ask her to dehydrate all my stuff for me because you have to spread it out in layers and thin layers and let it get dehydrated that way. But when I don't have access to her dehydrator, I literally will lay it out flat and not have anything touching anything or compounding on top of each other. And it typically dries pretty fast that way.
yeah, it's it is a whole process. You could also um, you put it on a cookie sheet with like parchment paper and put your oven on low, like as low as your oven can go. That'll help get some of that extra moisture out of it too.
Mhm.
You don't want to bake it, but you can put it on warm. I think warm is about 180 degrees, somewhere around there. Um, so that'll help with it to dry it out too if you're going to use it for something. I'm trying to think. I haven't thought about what I'm going to use this for yet. This smells so good. Like I want to drink it now.
Somebody in the chat said, if you don't have a dehydrator, put it next to someone who sucks the fun out of everything.
Ah! Cherry Bomb, is that you? That sounds like something she would say. So glad I'm watching because I'm learning and I didn't know what to do with my herbs when I'm done with baths or other works. So with spiritual baths, definitely divine, but typically with spiritual baths, you need to dispose of it
Mm-hmm.
in some type of way, whether it be burying it or taking it to the river. Um, Hell, you might need to flush it depending upon what was going on.
Yep.
So just divine, baby. But things like this, where you're cooking to consume it, is a little bit different. So, like especially because there's so many health benefits. Let me see if y'all can see what's in the spoon. Can you see my spoon? It's kind of dark right there. Let me take y'all into the light. Stay out the light, Caroline. Okay. Let me see if I can do this without burning anything up, because I got my...
Starting to get some pretty color to mine. I'm gonna see if I can just put some in the
There we
bowl.
go. That's what it's looking like on the spoon. There we go. There we go.
Oh yes.
So when it dries, it has a little bit more color to it. You get some of the green color back a little bit, but it actually looks very pretty, and it still smells so good. And so you could put more water in here and then just let it simmer all day for the potpourri, like we talked about. You could do that. You could, actually dry it out and use it in another work, depending upon, what it calls for. You could turn it into a spiritual bath with these oranges, because oranges are great for a spiritual bath. So once it's all dried out, you could, add sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, or both, depending upon the work, and make a spiritual bath. So there's lots of things you could do. Just divine and see if you can repurpose it. And then if not,
Healing. Oshun Kamibi said she uses hers for healing powders. Yes, baby.
yeah, that works.
And the
We'll add the everlasting oil as well. It's that recipe. Ooh, you know what? That is a great idea, Oshun Kamibi.
Healing powders with everlasting. Okay. I see you.
There's so many things that you could do, like, especially when you're cooking stuff with herbs and stuff, and there's going to be some byproduct. You could do so many things with the byproduct.
I'm getting like a reddish color over here now.
Oh, mine is very red. It looks like red wine. It looks like a real nice red wine.
Mine looks very dark. Like, can't really see the red.
Mine is like a burgundy.
Like
that's better. That's a better color to say. It's like a burgundy. I can see how it's changing my orange peels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me see if I can kind of get one.
Here's one of mine.
So let me grab this back again to show y'all. See? I gotta keep it open because it's gonna drip on me.
Right.
I don't want it to drip.
Yeah, I put smaller orange. That red one, that big one looks really beautiful.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, y'all. Inside the orange, so it's a deep red in there. Oh yeah, speaking of Florida water, let me go grab it so y'all can see what the other one looks like before I bottle it. Let me stir this up real good. I done turned. So now my fire is actually lower than medium.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to add a little bit more water so that it doesn't blow. I want to have a nice yield for this. So I'm going to go grab this Florida water real quick. Priestess, while I'm grabbing my Florida water, can you talk about some of the things that you have made, some of your concoctions, your practical concoctions that you've made? Because we've talked about this before, and you be over there really making some shit. And so,
practical concoctions. So one of my favorite little practical concoctions that I do is a hair oil. I've started venturing into experimenting with herbs and cooking my oils. Just to add a little bit more for my hair. I just started my lock journey this year, and so there's a couple things that I'm gonna start experimenting with as far as hair, but hair oil is one of my big ones. Um, I keep a long nose bottle with a top. That's pretty much just, one of the things. But um, I would say that for regular priestessing stuff, um, I like to make a lot of oils. I think I started out with bath oils because I'm not a big bubble bath person. Since I've had to start taking spiritual baths several years ago, I don't take bubble baths anymore. It's just not my thing. So I started experimenting with making bath oils and experimenting with herbs around that. Um, and yeah, but oils have been my thing. Bath oils, hair oils, skin oils, working on a facial scrub.
Ooh.
Yeah, one of my sisters was making some sugar scrubs, and I really, really love them. And I asked her for a special recipe, and so she obliged and made me a special recipe because I'm beautiful skin, but sometimes it gets really, really blotchy. And so I started working with turmeric a lot. So I'm gonna work on a egg turmeric mask.
Okay.
So yeah, because egg actually is really, really good for your skin and for your face. Kind
Now,
of.
do you have a hard time with that being vegan? Like, does it bother you?
No, I'm not that type of vegan. Like, I'm not like, I don't want my food touching. I don't want to. I'm not that way just because I'm not a very picky person. I put myself in situations where I can always be comfortable. So I don't. And then when I'm, working on healing stuff, there's no real limits to healing. So, like in ceremonies and things like that, I'm not going to half ass do a ceremony because I'm vegan. I'm going to do the ceremony fully so I can get the full benefits. So, when it comes to my healing, there's no level to what I'm going to really like leave out when it comes to my personal healing. And so like my face is a big thing. Not really like because it's seen, but just because I want to make sure that I'm aging gracefully, and egg is one of those, the egg whites in the egg, when you do an egg mask, it gets really, really tight. So it kind of helps to like bring that tightness back to your skin. And I've been doing egg masks since I was young. That's something that my grandmother taught me when I was a young girl. So that's neither here nor there for me. I'm not eating it.
That's good to know. I know that some people care more than others, so I was just wondering. Since I've got you here.
Yeah, no. And I totally understand and respect those who are like, no, I don't want to touch any animal products. I totally understand because I don't like killing bugs. Like, I don't kill spiders. I don't kill things like probably fruit flies and things like that. When they get really, really annoying, I'll, pop them. But spiders, I let them go about their business. I'm not big on killing things. I wear a lot of vegan leather purses and stuff like that. So like, yes, I'm definitely for saving the planet, saving our animals, and preserving the ones that are going extinct. But I definitely am not going to be above my healing or rituals when it comes to those things.
Good to know. So here is one of them.
Ooh, that looks beautiful.
So I got a good jar, so I can actually turn it upside down. And
This is the positive change and blessing.
yep, this is Positive Change and Blessings Florida water.
That looks bomb. Mine has been changing too. I'm most proud of my red eye. I'm gonna grab my red eye so I can show everybody. It looks like vampire blood.
So yeah, if you haven't already, you can actually purchase this. Not this big old jar, obviously, but you get a small one for your works, and then it's a 4 ounce, and then you get a 1.7 ounce for traveling. Because a lot of us travel a lot, and we still have the travel restrictions with liquids and stuff. So I did purposely include a small one so that you can still carry it on planes and stuff when you're coming to retreats, and even when you're just going on a business trip or whatever you're doing. You're going on a vacation, take your Florida water, okay? Cleanse some shit. Because, baby, the energy in some of them hotels and stuff, baby, is just nasty.
No, for real.
A priestess don't go nowhere without a little travel kit.
Mm-hmm. I stay with 2 ounce bottles around me.
Yeah.
You can get through TSA with 2 ounce bottles.
Yeah. I got a 1.7 just because the way the bottle was made. It's a really nice little bottle. It's little alcohol bottles. And I got those because hopefully they won't leak.
Right.
With all the jostling they're going to do. I wanted to make sure it was a bottle that would work for liquid, not just lotions that are thicker. So
this is my Vampire Blood Red Eye Florida water.
that was Love Goddess's class, right?
Yes. I kept some cinnamon sticks in there in the bottom, but this is the final version of it.
That looks so beautiful.
Thank you. It looks like Vampire's Blood. I have a red bottle, like the same style with the red eye in it. It's just screaming Shango.
I like that clear bottle so that you can actually see the red. Like, to me, that's dope as hell.
Mm-hmm. I love that bottle. These are my favorite type of bottles. I have green for my money spray. I have a blue one, and a bunch of clear ones, and a red one. So every time I find these kind of bottles with the cork, the plastic cork, and the rubber stopper, I always grab them.
I have a lot of stores like Michael's, and we used to have a Hobby Lobby. I don't know if we have one anymore. We have damn, I forgot it that quick. Old Time Pottery.
Mm.
And they have those. Let's see, the link to buy. If you click the description in the video and go to my link tree, my Enchanted Vibes link tree, the link to buy should be on there. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I mean, I can because I have it over here, yonder.
This reminds me, this smell right here that I'm smelling reminds me of when I've gone to my friend's Baby Feather's house on the reservation, and this smell right here reminds me of going to the reservation. I don't know why, but it does. It's giving me res energy right now.
So the link, I posted it. If you're watching from Facebook, I just posted the link to the Florida water in the comments. If you're watching from YouTube, you can just click the link in my description and it'll take you there. There. Oop. I didn't want to do that. There. Oop. There we go. And you can use Apple Pay. I love anything that lets me use Apple Pay. I'm with it.
That part.
I am so with it. Especially because, so I have Chime, I have Cash App, I have Apple Pay, I have Zelle. You know, I have all the things. The only thing I don't have is PayPal. Because, baby, PayPal is so nice. It's so 2003. That's so eBay
It's
to me.
ridiculous on PayPal. Jeez.
That's so eBay. So we're at about 40 minutes now of cooking.
I've got some good color. I'm a little bit more proud now.
Yeah, my oranges, like even the back of the orange is starting to change color now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my life together so I can prepare to strain this, huh?
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, let me get the jar together.
I love hearing the kids in the back just singing.
My babies.
My kids is with their daddy.
Good mommy time, though. So here's my strainer bag that I'm going to use when we get done. And what I typically do is I will take my bag and I will put it inside the jar or the container that I'm actually going to be using, like this. And then as I pour and the juice gets in there, I just slowly pull it up. That's typically what I do when I'm straining stuff. I'm going to rinse this really quickly.
So I have a degular strainer. I have the kind that you can put in stuff. And I actually have a really big jar that I'm going to um, pour this into first. Because I'm going to like double strain this a couple times. But I'm going to set a piece of cheesecloth on top of this so that the stuff doesn't end up getting stuck in my strainer. But I have a much bigger jar than the one that I'm actually using. I'll pour them into this after I've already mixed the honey and stuff in there and condense it. But until they cool off and I put the honey in, I'm going to keep them separate. But I'm going to wash this out because I didn't think about that until I started talking. So and it doesn't have to dry out because a little bit of water is not going to hurt it. You can dry it off if you want to, but you don't really have to. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of this Florida water to cleanse this off because I didn't have this pre-cleansed. So I'm actually using the Positive Change and Blessings Florida water right now on this container. I'm just going to put a little in my hand and rub it on there, rub it down. It smells so good. Ooh, you could, y'all. I said it smells good because it smells like alcohol. Because there's a lot of gin in there, baby. It's a lot of gin. It's gonna be potent. It's gonna clear some shit out. Okay. It is going to clear some shit. Do you strain again after the cheesecloth and regular strain method or no? So I'm gonna kind of show you what I'm gonna do. So basically, before I go get the cheesecloth, I'm gonna set the cheesecloth in the strainer, set the strainer over the thing, and pour. Okay, but I'm going to I have a second one that I'm going to use, so I'm going to take what's in here and I'm going to pour it through again. to double strain it to get all the things out, as much of the things out as possible. So I'm gonna go grab my cheesecloth. Priestess, find something to talk about. You're on mute though. There we go.
I guess I can talk a little bit about some of the planning that I'm doing. You guys will get to know me a little bit more and see my face more with doing some live conversations and things in the group with some of the other priestesses. I'm actually working on a few classes myself to teach. Some will be available for purchase. Some will be, just lives or whatever. So I'm really excited about that. It's my first time really getting into teaching about what I've been doing for the last several years as far as like my priestessing is concerned. But I've got a couple little rituals that have worked for me over the years that I'm revamping and making better to share with everyone for their self-love journey. So I think one thing that we always forget about when we're worried about relationships is that we really have to focus on our own care and love and healing of ourselves. So that really has been the journey that I've been on, has been a continuous ceremony or ritual of self-love. Like I'm talking years and years and years. And it doesn't stop just because I start to feel good or feel better or feel like I'm thriving, which is a amazing feeling. But I continue on with learning more about myself and doing shadow work. And that's something that not a lot of people like to really do because you really have to be honest with yourself and accept those things. So yeah, you'll be hearing a lot more from me with some self-love rituals and some healing things. One thing that I am planning coming up in October that's just related to my business will be a yoni steam Q&A. What is yoni steaming? Anybody watching, does anybody know what yoni steaming is? Mushroom community.
So I know what it is. And Omo Jolie, also known as Carolyn Stevenson, she just posted something today where some Christian lady then got upset because she found out about Shiva and the yoni. And so she's talking about how yoni steaming is not of God. Yoni is not of God.
Weird.
And I just laughed and laughed and laughed.
Actually, yoni steaming is of God. It is something that all women should really practice in, feminines and the like. Even men can steam. They obviously wouldn't be steaming their yoni, they would be steaming their lingam, but it's definitely just for me, when I first started yoni steaming, it was a way to connect with my divine feminine within. Like Priestess was talking about earlier, having balance is so very, very important. And the importance of yoni steaming and actually having a clear connection to the divine feminine within was very, very important to me. And so I was steaming, but I figured and realized after steaming a few times that I could really use yoni steaming to heal myself on so many different levels. So many different levels. As we continue, you guys will learn a little bit more about my story, but yoni steaming really has helped me in aiding in my healing journey and in my self-love journey. I will say this. I have created several homemade yoni steams and have cured myself of my endometriosis symptoms. What that means is my symptoms have obviously just changed, and the symptoms I've been having for the last 38 years are different. So the symptoms I was experiencing have gone because I've healed those symptoms through yoni steaming and the practice of using yoni eggs. So I'll be doing a live or a class a free class and Q&A on yoni steaming coming up in October.
So one of my big goals is to get the certification in order to actually offer that as a service in once we have our physical store.
Yeah.
I want to be able to add that to my repertoire.
Yep.
I just don't have enough knowledge on it right now to just be making shit. So
Yeah.
I ain't did it yet.
I will be doing a train the trainer for yoni steam practitioners. So I've been a yoni steam practitioner for about 3 years, 2 years now, 2.5 years now. So I'm going to go ahead and do the train the trainer so I can train folks on yoni steaming. There's a lot of people actually across the country who are doing yoni steams and like having yoni steam businesses and things like that. I would just be mindful of yoni steams or yoni steam practices that also utilize essential oils in the steams because you could totally burn your coochie.
I've heard, and that's why I said I haven't started doing it yet, because I want to really make sure that I am like fully educated on not just the process, because I know how to enchant some herbs and stuff. I think that's part of the difference too, because people don't be enchanted, so
They
mine will
don't.
obviously be enchanted.
Yeah.
But like the whole process and what herbs are good for what and what things go good together.
Oh yeah, it's a whole science. Like you
Yeah.
literally have to study. And when I don't just do yoni steams on anybody, they literally have to go and they have to have a whole orientation with me and answer a series of questions so that I'm giving them the best medicine. Because you can get the wrong steam and it could totally knock you out of twag. It can make your symptoms worse. You know what I'm saying? And you really have to be mindful and study what these herbs are, what the benefits are, and actually how to combine them, which is why balance is so very, very, very important.
Yeah.
And learning the herbs and what you're using them for. So that's the difference between my yoni steaming and other people's yoni steam blends. I enchant my herbs beforehand for specific purposes. Some people, I don't know everybody else's practice, so I can't speak to what they do. I just know when you're enchanting things and actually activating the plant for the medicine that it has and possesses, it just makes for better medicine. So
Absolutely not. Absolutely does. Okay, I'm gonna get to pouring. I actually changed to something else so that I can pour a little bit safely, so that my strainer can sit in it without me holding it.
I'm gonna do
So
the
I
double.
actually pulled out some of my herbs and put them in a separate thing for now. So here's my pot full of herbs. I don't know if you can see that steam, but it's piping. It's piping hot. So I'm going to move over to the sink and strain a little bit out of a time.
So I strained mine's already.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This is what it looked like. Smells divine. I'm in love. It's very, very warm. I'm gonna double strain though with the cheesecloth. So I used a regular little strainer like this one right here.
Uh-huh.
And I got it sitting over my white bowl so that as it continues to strain, I can add that. And then I'll take my cheesecloth and double strain in my smaller jar.
I tell y'all what, using cheesecloth and the strainer, or something and a strainer, is like a cheat code, because it keeps your strainer from getting gooky. Because everybody knows that cleaning a strainer sucks balls. There is nothing cute about cleaning a damn strainer at all.
I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but this is still strained. This is the strainer bag, and it's like shifting through all the particles and straining super slowly to make sure there's nothing getting in there.
And you're gonna lose a little bit
Mm-hmm.
when you pour, so don't feel some type of way.
Yeah, I don't know. This is like plant matter in the straining bag. I feel like there's some juice, but it's like plant matter. Let me see if I can share with y'all. Then this is the exact reason why I love this strainer. This bag right here.
And you will have to change cheesecloth. If you use cheesecloth, you're gonna have to get another piece. Just know.
Look at this plant matter at
Oh,
the
let me see. Sorry, I walked away. Oh wow.
So you know when you have the mother and the soot and all that, and you strain it in this, it's like a nylon. I don't know. It's called a tincture bag, but ain't no plant matter getting it out of there to get into it. So you're getting all the good stuff. Here it is. I'm gonna cool it and add the honey later.
What kind of honey do you buy?
Raw honey. The only thing I have right now currently, I low-key thought about adding my self-love honey, but I'm not. I'm just gonna go get raw honey. I might make a. So I know the purpose for adding honey to certain things is because it has like healing elements and things like that. For myself though, I've been considering just to add some 100% agave.
Oh yeah.
Even though it doesn't have the same healing properties as honey, that still is an alternate if you do not consume honey at all, because it maybe has body parts in it.
Right.
So
if you are, I know
Yeah.
some people don't realize that honey is not actually vegan, and so
Yeah. Yep. The pollen comes from the plant, but as soon as the bee picks it up and takes it to the hive, it is no longer vegan. So I'm gonna get me some 100% agave for my own personal batch. And then also babies shouldn't have honey until they're at least 3.
is it 3 now?
I heard it was 3. Could be 2, but I heard it was 3.
They change it every few years.
As the research and the science gets better.
And the reason why babies shouldn't have honey is because it can cause botulism.
Botulism?
Yeah.
Botulism. I'm gonna look that one up.
Botulism is one of those like old world diseases where you don't really too much hear about people getting it anymore.
That's what we thought about syphilis, but there's actually a syphilis epidemic going around this country.
I blame the livestock licking contest. Did you see that? That posted it? Nasty.
Livestock licking contest?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. I can't deal. What's wrong with these people?
Maybe I don't know, but I'm disgusted. it.
Let me clean out my tincture bag on that note.
I am just disgusted. On a visceral level, I am disgusted. Cause who? Why are we doing this? Why are we licking livestock? But I posted it on my page. Y'all can go see it on my Facebook. It's there. People is really like making out with animals. That's how syphilis started.
That is disgusting. So I think I'm gonna save my cinnamon sticks out of this elderberry too. One of them actually dropped.
I think I'm gonna have to get me one of the bags because you done already and I'm still going.
I just use this big strainer first and just strain it. If it double strain, just different straining items.
So I think I'm tripping, but you sound like you popping popcorn.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Every time
Me either.
you sound like a robot.
You too.
Oh, Jesus.
Somebody said apparently now there's mad cow disease going around in the ground meat recall. Do I still sound like a robot?
Yeah, I definitely hear robots.
Me
You know,
too.
my phone got hot. Maybe that's why. Let me push mute for a second. Let my phone cool off.
Oh yes, Destiny. Healing from traumas and cleansing. So my number one sold yoni steam is called WAP. It's like a cleanse and yoni steam, and that's like the main one that I sell. And then I have like a divine feminine energy one, an endometriosis one. And then I've made a yoni steam for postpartum for women after they have children, to help them get back right quickly. Definitely have lots of options. One thing that I did learn about yoni steaming, you don't have to always use a bunch of herbs. For example, when people want to heal from sexual trauma, they can literally use pine, and that takes away it's good for healing sexual trauma, but also to take away the shame, the shameful feeling shame about what happened or what people projected onto you because of the situation. It's just pine alone. But I would use pine with other things to incorporate or to, bring self-love after ridding yourself of that shame. So yeah, lots of little things about yoni steaming. That's really great. Sorry for that lady that feels like it's not of the Lord, but it is. And yoni steaming has been around for eons, so many different countries and cultures. Have anybody ever heard about the red tent ladies? Like, provide space for women to go sit in a red tent and get through their cycles and things like that. Just so much to healing ourselves that we're not given the information on because big pharma would not benefit from it. But there's things that we can do that have been around for a very, very long time to heal ourselves and to prevent dis-ease in our bodies. And so that's my big thing. Yep, pine is where it's at. Yeah, we've been on here for 2.5 hours.
I changed devices because it was sounding real crazy. It sounds better now though.
Yeah.
I think it cleared up whatever it was doing, but that sounded crazy.
Yeah, I don't
Like when you go watch it, you're gonna be like, girl.
Any questions? It's okay, the realm of Savina still. It's alive, so you'll be able to review it. It's
Yeah,
a pretty
you can actually go backwards right now. It'll let you. But thank you everyone for watching and spending your Saturday afternoon with us. I told y'all I gotta get a new stand. This one plays too much. But thank you everyone for joining us and sticking with it and indulging us. I'll show you one of mine. That's what she looked like. She dog.
That's beautiful. Look like grape juice.
It don't smell like grape juice. I cannot wait till it is cooled off so I can add the honey
Yeah.
and actually taste it.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, let's see, it's 1:30. So we got about 6 hours before we have to use it for our ritual. So that should be enough time.
Yeah, it'll be enough time. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for your feedback and your fun. This was actually very fun.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it.
Oh, he is texting me. See, see. All right, now. See, y'all done made Tana have to come out on this good Saturday.
Oh, no.
Jesus. Realm said she started taking elderberry 2 weeks ago. It's amazing. It'll change your life. Yes, it is so great. Thank you everyone for joining us. You can go back and review this. To purchase the class, click the link in the description. And Priestess Omoshule and I actually taught this class last winter. It'll give you the actual details of making the elderberry syrup. You just got to see us make it, but it'll give you the measurements, the exact ingredients, what to enchant for, all that. It was a very thorough class. Mm-hmm. We give some of the medicinal properties of the ingredients and what they do, some of the health conscious benefits of it. So definitely purchase the class and then you can make it yourself, or I will have this up available for sale here by this evening. I haven't made the link yet, so I'm going to make that link. And then if you would like to purchase it because you just don't feel like making it, I totally get it. So I will have that link up for sale. It will be I think it's going to be $25 per bottle. The bottle will last you about a month. But it'll be $25 because y'all saw all the work we just put into this, and we're not even done. So that'll be something for you guys to check out here later. Does anybody have
there is a question.
questions? Is the class on African Magic School to purchase? No. So I know that's Christina. My classes are not on African Magic School. My classes are on learnorishahoodo.com. But I am going to post the link right now in the chat. Hold on, let me get my other phone. Hold on. Sorry, that multitasking was not going to work because I know as soon as I touch this phone, it's going to fall because it hates me. Anyway. I'm surprised none of my god sisters are in the chat already with the link ready to go. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you the Linktree link because it has everything in there, including the Florida water. So copy, paste.
For my Portland folks, I will have my stuff available and ready as well. You can just DM me while I'm getting my website reconstructed.
So there we go. I posted it in the comments on the Facebook stream. Like I said, if you are watching from YouTube, you can literally just click the link in the Yep, that's what I said. You could click the link in the description, and it'll take you to everything that you need. Did anybody have any questions before we end? Love donations. My cash tag is floating at the bottom for love donations. Priestess, what is yours for love donations?
My Cash App is Yemiya Goddess.
Can you spell it for the people?
Oh yeah, YEMAYGODDESS. Yemiya Goddess with a $sign in the front.
So yes, if you enjoyed this behind the scenes informational, please send us the donations of the love. And like I said, this class is available for purchase at the link in the description or in the comments that I just posted. If you're watching from Facebook, you'll be able to you'll be able to get the full class, the supply list, measurements, intentions. You get 2 teaching aids too if you just want this class. This class is also going to be part of the Practical Priestess series. So Practical Priestess series will have 6 classes. 2 in October, 2 in November, 2 in December, and the Enchanted Elderberry Syrup class. So you're actually going to get 7 classes for this. 4 of them have been released, and Destiny gave me the idea to do like a potpourri. So we're going to do I'll do like a protection of the home class.
For sure need to hear that one. I'm looking for some extra added layers.
Do a protection of the home class in December, and then I'll find one more thing to talk about. Oshun Kumibi. So this is the exact reason why I named this the Practical Priestess series, because Oshun Kumibi is always saying we love a practical priestess, and so because of Oshun Kumibi, y'all get a Practical Priestess series. Thank her. You can thank Oshun Kumibi for that, and y'all can thank Destiny for the potpourri and protection of home class that I'm gonna do, because she gave me that idea just now. So I got to figure out one more class, but I got till December. Well, I got till November to figure it out. So yes, if you I believe the bundle is up as is. It's just missing. It doesn't have this class in it yet. The Elderberry class, not this live, obviously, but the actual Elderberry class. I got to have them add that to it, because I just decided while talking that I was going to go ahead and add that as a freebie. But you'll get 6 classes for $100. One about routine building. One about cooking with intention. One about protecting small children like infants and younger babies, not necessarily school-age children. Protecting small children. And then one about It's called Kingmakers, but it's about building healthy relationships, healthy romantic relationships.
I really
By
love the
using
name.
our divine feminine and divine masculine energy together.
Mhm.
So
It's
that's
beautiful.
where we are.
Can't have one without the other.
Can't have one without the other. It takes two. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Oshun Kamibi. Yes, I do have the chakra series. I'm going to I haven't created the bundles yet, but I'm going to here fairly soon to make up some bundles. It'll be easier, a little bit cheaper if you want to buy the whole thing. So that will be a thing here very soon. I think in January, I'm going to take a break from teaching classes just so that I can get all the bundles and everything together. And like reorganize my library for y'all so that it's a little bit more cohesive and give y'all some good stuff, and then give me time to really sit and think about what I want to teach next. Maybe get some more experience under my belt or whatever, and bring y'all something funky and something fresh. So I do have 2 small ones now. So this is like perfect. They're almost even, but this is a perfect amount so that I can once it cools off, I'll be able to pour the honey into it and stir it, and then I'll put it in a big jar later. Actually, I might not, because it might just get straight bottled. I got amber glass bottles for this, so I might just be bottling it and selling it. I might have to make a second batch for myself.
Yep, the second batch I make is going to be for sale. The first batch was for ritual in home.
So y'all got to see the syrup that y'all finna be consuming. For those of you that buy it, you got to see it, so you know that I made it for real. And it took about 2.5 hours, a little less. We was talking and getting ready, so it took about 2 hours. It would be quicker if I was just doing it and not explaining and all that stuff, but here we are. I just telling Spirit I want to dive deep. Girl, dive deep, child. All right, well, we love y'all so very much. Thank you for joining us. Click the link in the description. You can join the community outreach program. You can join the Facebook group if you're not already on there. Yes, be on the double train. Yes. So many classes, so many things going on. We have a trip to Morocco for next year. So we're just super excited about that, gearing up for that, because that's going to be fantastic.
I can't wait.
And if you haven't already watched it, the first episode of the Priestess Movement interview series is on my YouTube channel. Priestess Olaia has her own episode closer to the end of the series. So I'm so excited for them all to be done. But yeah, it was an amazing series. I had to change some things up about it, and so I'm not re-recording them, but there's some other things that have to happen before the next episode gets released. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you get alerts to the channel, because I'm going to be posting all types of stuff here pretty soon. I'm going to do a big YouTube push. So there's going to be a lot more videos coming out soon, including this Priestess interview series, and season 2. I'll probably start recording that here pretty soon to get ready, because we only did 8 episodes for the first one. And so there's still way more priestesses in the coven. And then there's still more coven members. So once I get the coven done, then I'll be interviewing people in real life that I know. real life and in person. Hopefully, it'll be like a sit down, a little tea and talk. And so the questions will be a little bit different, but the premise will still be the same. So we'll be talking about, being a mother. I have a couple of local artists in my family, and so I want to talk to them about their craft and what they do. And so it's going to be really fun. It's going to be an amazing series. And yes, Thoughtum is every Saturday at 8 a.m. We are, today was the first day of Thoughtum. It's called Thoughtum because we're working on our thighs. It's not called Thoughtum for any other reason. We're working on our thighs. So we did some thigh work this morning, baby. We was burning, okay? Burning this morning. And then had the nerve to be standing up for 3 hours. Child, we're going to be sexy this winter, okay? By winter time comes, we're going to be in there, okay? And then winter, we're going to do Winter Soldier, okay? So we're going to have our summer bodies before the spring. Okay.
I mean, if you could change the time, I could join, but 5 a.m.
I know that's a lot.
Ish.
Priestess Oya Petu, she makes it sometimes. She made it today.
I made it one time.
Yeah, she be tired. She got to pray at 6 her time, so it's not too bad, but she be tired. Her knees weren't happy today. Well, her knees were cool. Her thighs were angry. So it was a whole lot. But thank y'all for joining us. We got to get ready for class tonight. I got to get ready to go. I got to go do something else and then go to class. So we love y'all. Have a wonderful Saturday. And remember to keep your head so high you don't even see the haters. Peace.